Welcome to the second part of our lettering tutorial. We are learning how to get our comic ready for print. In part one of the tutorial, we dealt with the Illustrator files and turning them into print ready files that can be imported into InDesign. Next, we're going to create ourselves an InDesign document and then bring in both the art and our lettering files to create the finished article. So we'll start with a new document. So if you go into InDesign file, new document, it should bring up this window. Now this is a UK standard size comic. So our width is 170 millimeters. Our height is 260 millimeters. Make sure orientation's facing that way. Portrait. Make sure your facing pages are off because we don't want double page spreads in this particular one. And don't need margins, don't need slug, you just need to make sure the bleed is 3 millimeters is pretty standard bleed for something that deals with millimeters. You want to check with your printer what their specific bleed is, as it can be different for various printers. So I'm just going to create a new document here. As you can see, we've got our page right here, and as you can see, it's kind of laid out here. So we've got our bleed area, bounding area, which is that 3 mil that we set, and this is the trim. The white box is the trim where it's going to be cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to bring in the art and then bring in the lettering. So I'm going to have 2 layers for this. So to start, I'm just going to click on this first layer, call that art. And click on a new layer and call that lettering, making sure obviously that the lettering is above the art. So as we're going to bring the art in first, I'm going to lock that layer and we're going to use the art layer. This particular comic is 20 internal pages. So I'm just going to right click over here in the pages panel, insert pages, and just add an additional 19 pages. So we've got them all listed here. Our goal is basically to fill all of these in with art and lettering. I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to do first 5 pages just so you can see the process. It's quite easy really, once you know how. So initially, to bring in the art, I'm going to come over here and place some art in the document. Place is kind of InDesign's version of import. Command and D, Control and D, place, and it will ask you what you want to bring into the file. So I'm going to find my original artwork, take these first 5 pages and open them up. And as you can see, we've got ourselves a little thumbnail here of the artwork. And if you look really close, there's like a number inside of that, tells you how many pages you've got, 5. So what I need to do with the art is just take it right up to the corner, because we know that's where we're going. That's this size is the size of our actual art and our lettering. So I'm just going to drop it in there. And if you're close enough to the corner, InDesign will just lay it perfectly, match it up, so you don't have to worry about it being out of place. And you just basically work your way through. Pretty quick, eh? So just drop them all in, and the last one goes in there. So we've got our art laid down. Looks like I've skipped a page. Just delete that page, and we can always insert one page that we need further down the line. So I'll just go back to 1. Right, the art is in. Now, this is something that tricks a lot of people. InDesign, it doesn't just import the image, it imports the image and then puts it inside a container. It puts it inside a box. So this everything inside InDesign is inside a container or a box. You can make your own using this frame tool here, where you can build your own and then put things in it. That's just how InDesign works. So as you can see, I can grab this box and move it about, and as the image is basically the full size of the box. When I'm moving this box, the image moves too. And the thing that catches people out is the direct select tool. So if you click the direct select tool, and sometimes this might accidentally happen while you're doing stuff in InDesign, but if you, rather than with the normal selection tool, where if I grab this box and move it, everything moves, with the direct selection tool, if I click here, what it does is it selects the content that's inside this box. So it selects the image, but it doesn't mess with the box. So if I move this image now, you can see it drops outside. So it's given us here's the actual size of the image, where it is, and this is the box container that it's in. So again, I can grab the box and move that about, and then the image that's been moved inside remains proportionally where it has been moved to. It's just a bit annoying sometimes when you've got the wrong details. Some people are moving stuff about and they're like, why is this going everywhere? That's just the way InDesign works. That's all good. So we've got our art there, and what I'm going to do is lock the art layer and unlock the lettering layer, and we'll just go through the same process again. So Control D to place, and it will ask me what files I want to import. So I'll go to my output folder and open that, and make sure the lettering layer is selected, and then we've got our little box up again, so we know we've got 5 images with a little preview. And you need to make sure you're on the right layer for it to work, and make sure the other layer is locked, otherwise you'll start overwriting stuff in other layers. So with our thumb ready to go through the same process, find the corner, just click, and boom, the lettering is put in the right place on the page. And pop that in there, and finally that one goes in there. So that's what I basically have to do, is just do that for every single page. But it's pretty easy when you do it like that. It's quite a painless thing to do. You can check in the properties, because we've set our bleed to our bleed to 3 mil. If you go and look at the properties of an item, you can see it's at -3, which is that precise point up there. And InDesign's done that for me, really, because I was sort of just jabbing in the corners. InDesign understands you want a corner, so it set it to -3, and it's perfect. And it's that way for both the art and the lettering as well, that it's -3. And more or less, this is the process. So with that done, you can go in and sort of tweak it and move it about. This is why we sort of do it with the bounding box, because InDesign knows the size of the image and where you're putting it, and it matches the size that's laid out. So it's not contracting or expanding in any weird ways. It's just going straight into the exact size that we've set out for it. And it's all, you can look a little closer to make sure it all lines up, but generally it's pretty good. You can just grab your direct tool and sort of tweak it about and move stuff, but we're not going to do that because it's all perfect. So with our files in place, I'm now going to do the exciting bit where we export the actual comic. Now with InDesign, we're going to file and export. We're presented with this window. Now this one, we can either select PDF for print or PDF for interactive. The print one is what you want, is what you need for high quality print. You've got to select that, otherwise it won't look good. Interactive is what you use if you're just making sort of like a web version or a download that you can email out to people. So we'll go with print to begin with, and we should get another window appear. Click save. Right. Yep. So this pops up: high quality print modified, absolutely fine. Don't need to mess with anything on this page. Only things you really need to do is, if you want to make sure the art is as crispy and as perfect as it can be, you can turn the compression to none here. It normally sets itself to automatic JPEG, but sometimes that can come out a bit fuzzy in places, so if you set it to none, that's really good. And marks and bleeds, you just want to make sure, you don't need to turn on any of this crap, you just need to make sure that the use document bleed settings are ticked, and it recognises what we inputted earlier. That's really all you need to do. So you just click export, and InDesign will chunder away up here as it processes the file, and it creates a PDF for you, which is very, very good. So that's basically created a print ready file, which you can use, as you can send directly to the printers, and it works, and it's gorgeous, which is great. If you're looking to create a digital version as well, if you just come back up to here, file, export, Adobe PDF Interactive, and if this one we call it digital, and click save, you get a slightly different menu this time. Again, don't really need to mess about with any of these settings. Compression, it's auto sets to that one. You don't want anything lossy for sure, so stick with the lossless. If you want a slightly smaller file size, you can go down in resolution, but I kind of stick to 144. It's kind of a nice balance between quality and size. And then you just click export. This is just kind of moaning because we're turning a CMYK document, because obviously it's print CMYK, into RGB, because it's going to be viewed on the web only. So it just sort of does that for you, but you just click OK. It's all groovy. There's nothing to worry about. And again, InDesign will chunder away and create your digital copy. So if I'm just going to bring this up here, Untitled 3, this was the print version that we've got. If we just open that up, now as you can see, we've got our files here. Now the fact that we used a Illustrator, an AI file or an EPS file is apparent in the font here. See how we can zoom in to this font, no matter how zoomed in I get, it's still absolutely crisp and clear. So that's the benefit of using, why this is the benefit of why people do it in vector programs, do lettering in vector programs, is because you get this absolutely minty crisp and sharp looking font. And if you did that in a raster program, if you're just working in, say, like a 300 dpi or anything like that, it starts to get a little bit fuzzy as you go further down. If you like working in 900 dpi, all right, it's kind of all right, but you don't always get art files delivered like that. It's pretty mad, and it's quite intensive on your whatever computer you're using to have files of that massive size. So that's why this is sort of the benefit of doing it this way with EPSs and AI files, is the beautiful font. Okay, so that is basically how you do it in InDesign. I'm sure you're all shocked that it's that easy, but it really is. You know, maybe I'll be banned from Letterer's Circle for giving away the trade secrets, but it's a simple process, and if you just follow this guide, you'll get the comic of your dreams. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe. There's always going to be more exciting tutorials around lettering and marketing of your comics that are going to be coming out very soon. So keep it real, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.